Hey, what's up you guys? This video here is going to be a response to Neptuneknives contest, so go check them out. Watch especially the test of some higher end steels on cutting metal. Really great way to wear out the knife's edge, and they're also quite informative. In addition to that, Neptuneknives is also a custom knife dealer, and he has his website, and you should also go check that out. Anyways, onwards to the contest. First things first, I need to give a couple of shoutouts. HalfMoon67 and Peter Moore. I'll annotate everyone in the description below. So click on them, click on the links, subscribe to them, befriend them if need be. Anyways, both these guys here, HalfMoon67 and Peter Moore, have very few subscribers. Well, not very few. Upwards of 100 to 200. But they really deserve more, so you guys should definitely go check them out. I'm pretty sure, well, I'm not pretty sure, I remember that HalfMoon67 was essentially the first YouTuber to start the poor man's stonewash craze. So simple. You grab a container, stick some rocks in the container, spray in some WD-40 or soap, close the container, and start shaking. Or, if you want to be a little bit easier if you don't want to go crazy, you can wrap it in a towel and stick it in the dryer for a couple of cycles. Alright, so the second part of the response is, what's my favorite knife company and why some folks might not like them as much as I do? Well, it's no mystery if you watch my vids that my favorite knife company is Swamp Rat Knife Works. Got all my knives here. 4 of them. And I use only these 3. This one I haven't found a use for. It's a neck knife. I honestly have not found any use for any of my neck knives. So, as far as that goes, Swamp Rat is part of the Bussy kin line of knives. They're the middle ground with the prices when you compare them to the other kin lines, Scrapyard and Bussy, of course. Though Swamp Rat is definitely no slouch when it comes to performance. Sure, I'm definitely not going to get some of the stainlesses that Infi might provide, or some of the really, really tough steel that SR77 or especially heat-treated S7 steel might not have some of that insane toughness. But in all honesty, these are quite good. Well, not quite good. These are fantastic. So, as far as steel goes, the steel on pretty much every single one of the knives, except for a couple that were in D2 and Infi, some scrap Infi, and their folder, which pretty sure I remember Blade Tech made a folder for Swamp Rat. The Swamp Rat folder. Yeah, that was definitely not in 52100 SR101. But anyways, SR101, as it's called, is 52100 with Swamp Rat's special heat treat. And on most of the large knives, the ones that I have here are all differentially heat treated, except for the swamp boarding. So anyways, why might folks not really like Swamp Rat? And the biggest gripe for me is definitely some of their knife designs. I can honestly see people, they're just different. They're not odd looking, they're just, the knives design really appeal to a different crowd. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the blades. The blades will perform beyond your imagination, beyond your needs. But the designs are, some of them are a little bit left, they've got some, they could make them look a little bit more pleasing. So that's one of the big problems that one of the problems why people might not like them. God, I can't talk today. And another thing, which is a really big problem, is acquiring them in the first place. They usually have a couple of offers on their company store, but in all honesty, you can't really see the full line unless you go to the shows, either the big blade shows or I think Knob Creek is one of the bigger, one of the other stands one of the other events that they go to and have stands the knives. The Indy 500 too, if I remember correctly. But generally acquiring these it's quite a challenge. You either have to go to the shows or or acquire them secondhand from the forums, which is another problem. The forums. If you're really itching for a swamp rat knife, an older swamp rat model, chances are they'll probably be on the forums, but for a ridiculous price. And I guess I can see that because, I mean, the swamp rat knives are limited production runs. But not really limited production runs. They usually do runs of previous knife designs at the shows, and if you go to them, you'll probably see them, and you can probably buy one. But, again, people in the forums, they always trying to make a quick buck. But you know, once in a while you might get lucky and score well, like on some of these. This one especially, fantastic. So that's that. Hope you guys enjoyed this vid.